which is the best mug I've ever seen. I need this mug. Like, I can't believe I have gone without this mug.
I mean, by the time you get back to Texas, I'll probably can get another one.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. I'm gonna be there in October.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at some book festival thing. So maybe I'll see you again there.
Yeah, and I can get you a mug.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing because this is awesome.
No, I told you last time I started a booktube channel.
Yes.
And when you're back in Texas.
Oh my gosh, let's do an interview for it. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
we can totally do that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yay! It'll happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, beautiful bookish people. My name is Hannah, and today, I can't believe I'm about to say it, I get to interview Morgan Matson. Hi! I'm freaking out, guys. I can't believe it. So, if you don't know who Morgan is, she's a contemporary author who writes fantastic summer romance books that you should all pick up. And I'm just going to ask you some questions about your craft and storytelling.
I'm super excited.
Yay!
Cool.
Me too.
Yay!
There's a pretty common phrase in writing of write what you know.
Okay.
Do you find that to ring true?
I think so. I feel like it's not necessarily about, I guess, here, I'm going to coin something new. Maybe it is write what you feel, because I feel like none of the experiences that are the events that take place in any of my books I've ever lived through. Like, I've never, like, had a congressperson parent who, like, left because of a scandal, and, like, I've never had, exactly, I've never had someone, like leave me a list of things and then disappear. But I feel like all the feelings underlining that stuff are all stuff I've experienced, and a lot of the characters, you know, are pulled from people in my life or composites, so I kind of feel like it's hard to write an emotion you haven't felt, but I don't think it's that hard to sort of take your life, take your feelings, take your friends' experiences and stuff you know, and kind of do a little bit of a what if. It's like, oh, well, what if this happened, or what if that happened, or kind of like heighten the tension. So I don't think you have to be limited at all to your experiences. And I think sometimes if you try and relate everything a little too narrowly to your experiences, you actually miss out on a lot of storytelling possibility.
Interesting. Because the reason I wanted to ask you that is when I read Since You've Been Gone, I had similarly gone through that experience of like friendship separation, and it felt so real and raw to me that I was wondering if that just came from a specific event or...
Yeah, so Since You've Been Gone, I dedicated it to my friend Amalia, and Since You've Been Gone was really about two things. It was about our friendship, because we met in grad school, and it was like one of these like immediate
You're good.
Immediate like want to spend all your time together, want to hang out all the time, like one of these just great epic friendships. But then, so we were friends together in New York for about 4 years, and then I moved to LA and she moved to London. And so it was kind of this figuring out how to be friends who didn't get to see each other all the time. So the book was really about those two things. It was like celebrating one of those friendships where you just like want to spend all your time with this person, you'd have this amazing connection, but then also learning how to be friends when you don't have that every day. So it wasn't based on a specific thing that happened, but it was more a combination of those two things. But I had a friend in high school who, whenever I went on a trip, would write me a postcard with like things to do on it. So like when I went to Paris, she wrote me a postcard that was like, go to the Sainte-Chapelle and light a candle and like go get a crepe, and like, so it was just like, so I think the list kind of thing came from that friend. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So something I think you do really well in your books is kind of encapsulate that feeling of summer.
Okay.
Do you find that it helps to be a method writer in that sense, to just capture that essence?
I mean, I like writing about summer, although my most recent one wasn't about summer, which was kind of weird. It was like bad weather and cold, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm really stretching as an artist. I love summer, writing about summer for a number of different reasons. One is it's a really nice time frame. Like, I think like 3 months is a really nice way to tell a story. Like, it's structured, and so I feel like you sort of know, like, okay, 4th of July is kind of in the middle, and
All right, everybody.
Gasp.
How are you doing?
Gasp.
Everybody's still dry. Is it not raining yet?
do we need to take a pause?
Yeah, we'll pause. Oh, so yes, encapsulating summer.
So I like I like the time frame. I like the structure it gives. I also feel like there's so much possibility in the summer. Like I feel like you have more freedom in the summertime. Like I feel like sometimes you're friends with people you never would have been friends with before, or like you get shaken out of your routines. And like I went to high school before there was Instagram. I know it's like shocking, but like there used to be this moment where people would come back in the fall and they would look totally different because you hadn't seen them all summer and you
like
hadn't seen pictures of them all summer.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I always loved that moment because there were some people you were like, what was your summer like? Like, what happened to you? Like, even if they didn't look different, they had like a different vibe to them or a different feeling. And I feel like summer allows for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So all of your protagonists, Amy, Charlie, have a set plan, and then life kind of throws them a bat. And you seem to deal with that theme a lot. Is there a reason why?
I mean, I feel like that's always the most fun place to put a character is like someone who like thinks they know what their plan is going to be and they have it all figured out, and then you like throw them a curveball. And because that I feel like is the most sort of way you find out the most about a character is when they have to kind of scramble and like
Fish out of water.
Yeah, and like get shaken out of their comfort routine and get shaken out of their comfort zone. What's a comfort routine? Get shaken out of their comfort zone and out of their routine. And yeah, I think it's really fun because it's that whole thing of like life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, that whole quote. Because I do feel like every time you're like, this is my plan, the universe is like, oh, you think so? And so I do like sort of showing what someone expected versus what their reality ends up being. And I think it's a fun way to tell a story.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had to do a little bit of research for this.
Okay.
So I found out that your first concert was Guns N' Roses.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. So I was like 9 and yeah.
My first concert was Barney.
I mean, I'm sure I like saw that kind of stuff too, but yeah, my brother was this big Guns N' Roses fan, and so he was older, and I thought he was cool. So I got really into Guns N' Roses when I was in 4th grade, and so it was, and like he went for his birthday, and somehow I don't know why, and like he must have been so mad that I like forced myself into this thing with like him and his friends to like go see Guns N' Roses.
When you're 9.
When I was 9, yeah. My brother was probably like, why are you even here? You're my stupid sister. But yeah, so it set a high bar.
Yeah, for sure.
Although like now I've taken my niece to see like Katy Perry and Taylor Swift, and she's 6, and I'm kind of like, I'm like starting you way too high with like, the good concert.
Entertainers.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, okay, you don't need to see that. My brother was like, do you want to take her to see Taylor Swift a few years ago? I was like, she's 3, so no. Like and even the summer when we saw Taylor Swift, like an hour in, she's like, I want to go home because she's tired because she's 6. And I was like, no. I was like, honey, you're fine. Take a nap. Taylor's playing. I'm a good aunt, I swear.
But do you find that with music being incorporated in your life from such a young age that's why you incorporate it in your books so often?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like it like lends itself to some books better than others.
Sure.
Like I definitely have always my own playlist for the books and for the characters. But like definitely like any book that has a road trip,
Yes.
Yeah. And I like I'm like physically incapable of exercising without music. So like with Emily and Frank, we're running all the time. It's like the running playlist is like you have to have the right one. So I feel like it's more like based on like where it falls in the book. Although it was really fun. It was so fun for Save the Date because in one of the bonus editions, I did all of like DJ JJ's,
Yes.
and it's like a 70 song playlist because it's basically like for a wedding reception, and that was so fun to do. And like right after I had like finished that, a friend of mine was getting married this spring, and she like sent out an email to all of us. She was like, guys, do you have any like wedding song suggestions? And I was like, here you go. And she was like, whoa. Like I like immediately sent her like 75 songs, and she was like, did you just have these like ready to go? I was like, it's for a book.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
So I find when we talk like conversations about fantasy and dystopian, we often talk about world building. How do you think that fits into conversation of world building with contemporary? To like build a believable world.
Totally. Well, I think it's a little different for me because I have the same town.
That's true.
So I like have essentially like built a world in which like people recur, characters reappear, and that's really fun for me because it almost feels like I've built the set already, and it's kind of like
around it.
yeah, it's like I can expand the map over here and over there, but it's like, oh, I know this location, I know that location, I know what it looks like, and it's a little bit of a shorthand. So I do think it's important. I mean, I think that fantasy world building, you have to do so much more because like. And I think they have to do so much more heavy lifting because I can say like Connecticut and like people like have a sense of what that is and like how the money works and what the social order is. It's just like I feel like I don't have to like build all that from scratch. Like my friend Victoria is like making a map and she's like I have to think about the trade routes and I'm like I've never had to do that and I like it that way. But like so I do think like you build a world on a smaller scale. But yeah.
So I have a couple fun questions now.
I'm excited.
If you could recommend a book to Taylor Swift, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, a book to Taylor Swift. Well, I might recommend Second Chance Summer because the main character is named Taylor, named after her. And I might be like, look, I was a fan back in 2009. Here's the proof. Or
Get me into that secret session.
exactly. Or Since You've Been Gone, where the parents are named Andrew and Scott, and just kind of like, here you go, Taylor Swift. It's a little Easter egg for you.
Or Swift Taylor.
Exactly. Oh my God. Like a number of people were like, did you do this on purpose? And I was like, yes, I did. I did it on purpose. A book to recommend to Taylor Swift. This is a great question. I actually feel like she would love Jenny Han's To All the Boys I'd Loved Before series. Like that feels so like, I feel like she would like, it's like so cozy and it's about baking and I feel like she would just like read it like with her cats like curled up next to her and it would be this like very like sweet cozy read for her. Yeah.
So now that you mentioned Jenny Han, I'm fascinated with first impressions, and I found out that you guys went to grad school together.
Yeah.
What was like y'all's first impressions of each other before y'all like had fantastic books out?
I've known Jenny for about 15 years now. I know. Maybe not quite, because I think we met in 2005, so 13 years, I guess. Wow. And so Jenny, actually, we were never in class together because she graduated before I started, but she was still in the mix, and doing alumni events. And I think my first impression was we were all talking about Jenny because she had this book deal. Like while she was in like her first year of grad school, she sold her book Shug. And so like, it was like the story of this girl who sold her book. And so I feel like we were all a little bit like, wow. So
And I get to be friends with her.
yeah. So I feel like it was definitely like, I think that was like, you heard like talk about this girl who wrote this amazing book. And so I feel like, yeah, that was the first I heard of her.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I would like to play a little game.
Okay.
So I heard your favorite movie is It Happened One Night.
It's one of them, yes.
Okay, so I would like to give you a series of questions to see if you would say it would happen in one night.
Okay, this is fun.
So binge watching Stranger Things, does it just happen one night?
Yes. Yeah.
Editing Save the Date, does it just happen in one night?
No. That's a long, very long process.
So rewatching To All the Boys I've Loved Before at 2 a.m. in the morning, does it just happen one night?
Yeah.
Did Ray Bradbury write Fahrenheit 451 just in one night?
Oh God, I hope not. That would be so depressing if he did. Did he?
No.
Oh God. Oh my, can you imagine if it's like this like amazing classic and he's like, yeah, I wrote that from like 4 to 7 in the morning and then I was called at night. Oh my God.
So yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Ding ding ding. Yes. I
Yay.
actually have a prize for you.
I have a prize.
And
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Wait, no, you don't understand. Because okay, I was just at the Taylor Swift concert.
me too. Yesterday.
Oh my gosh, was it good?
Amazing.
Oh my gosh. So I got to see her 3 times this summer.
Yes.
You do?
No,
Oh.
I wish.
So I saw her, the last one it was in New Orleans, and someone was walking around with this shirt on, and I was like, I need that shirt, but now I don't because I have the mug. This is so fun. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I'm so excited about this. This is so perfect for me. Yeah, because I was like, I need that shirt because it's all my favorite things in like one shirt.
Right.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
This is so cool.
So I thought the way to end the video
Okay.
is I've been collecting your books for such a long time, like since I was middle
You're
school.
so sweet. That makes me feel so old.
And so I actually only have one left to
Okay,
complete my
okay.
collection. I was hoping if you could sign it right here.
Of course, I would be happy to.
As like I finally get to interview
Oh my
you.
gosh, Ethan, this is so old school.
Hey, shout out.
Oh my gosh.
As like
Wow.
a full circle of like
This is so crazy. Yes. Oh my gosh. So just to Hannah?
I would love that.
Okay. I have to remember to sign Katie Finn because sometimes I don't.
It's in one of my books.
Did I mess it up? Oh God, I know I do that sometimes. It's too hard.
But yeah, as a kind of a full circle, as my last
it.
collection.
Oh, I love it. We get to,
and
like,
do an
document it.
interview. Oh, it makes my heart happy.
This is my favorite of the Katie Finn books.
Stop.
It's like, it's honestly, it's like, it's, this was so hard. It was so much, and I'm so proud of it.
But thank you so much
This
for
is so fun.
doing
And
this
thank
interview.
you for the mug. This
Yes.
is amazing.
And thank you for like writing great books that have like
Gosh.
been with me throughout so many events. And
I got it right. I signed Katie Finn. Yay!
but yes, thank you.
Thank you so much,
mean
Hannah.
the
This
world.
was great. What a wonderful conversation.
Yay.
And thank you for my mug.
Of course, anytime.
So, a lot of y'all don't know this, but I actually started BookTube because I thought it might give me the opportunity to interview my favorite author, Morgan. So, I'm so incredibly grateful for the opportunity and experience because it feels like such a surreal moment that I've been dreaming about to finally interview and complete my Morgan Matson collection. So, thank you. It means the world to me.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, look at how old her phone is even. She's got like a BlackBerry.
I know.
Oh wow.
You're good.
This actually looks really good.
Test.